Okay, hello everybody. Mr. Royans here. This second reading lesson of the day, or first, I guess, depending on which one you watch, is not actually about cause and effect text structure. This one is we're going to take a second, we're going to go back and talk about text features. Now, we talked about text features, I think it was last week, maybe the week before. No, it's last week's main idea. A couple weeks ago, we talked about text features. I remember things like captions, headings, bold text, italics, charts, that sort of thing, graphs. And text features are put in there to help organize ideas and help you locate information in a text. So for example, if I was scrolling through this text in your MyView book, I would know that, okay, if I was researching mimicry, and I was like, okay, there's a few specific types of mimicry, but I really need to find the copycat style of mimicry. You would just scroll through the text till you came to that heading, right? So we're gonna look at this section, it's called copycat, and look at the image. I remember this is a photo, but what is the thing that describes, what is the piece of information that describes a photo called? Caption, yeah. The key information is a caption, describes the photo. So what is the key information of this whole text, or this whole section of the text? Well, it says there are different kinds of mimicry. One kind is called Batesian mimicry. It is named after Henry Walter Bates, a naturalist. He discovered that some weaker animals adapted to their environment by copying or looking like dangerous animals. These weaker animals often have no defenses, such as stingers or poisons. Instead, they look very much like other animals that do, and so their enemies leave them alone. One example of Batesian mimicry is the hoverfly. Over time, this fly has adapted to have yellow and black stripes like a bee. Animals know that a bee will sting them, so they leave this fly alone. Well, what's the main bit of information from this text? And it's on page, I don't know what page it's on, but if you look through the text for the week, you know you can find it. The main piece of information from this little excerpt is about copycats, right? And copycats are protected because they look like other dangerous animals. Right? That's the main idea here. Because they look like dangerous animals, they're left alone. We talked about that with our cause and effect lesson too, and that's kind of a cause and effect thing. But I want to know, why does the author include the heading in that caption about the hoverfly? Back up. Why does the author include copycat, and why does the author include the picture of this hoverfly and then that caption? Well, it's because it's an example of the copycat or the Batesian mimicry, right? They wanted to give us a concrete example of what it is. Easier to see a picture and associate it with the idea, because we can look at that and we can read it and go, okay, that what was about copycats, they're protected because they look like dangerous animals. They're not really dangerous, but they look like it, so other animals leave them alone. What's an example of that? Well, this fly isn't an actual bee, but it's left alone because it does look like a bee. And they include this picture and caption to help show it, to give us an example of what the author means. And it's the same thing with nearly all the text in this, or all the sections of this text, right? Because if we look here, a closer look at Batesian mimicry, it gives us another example. When we read this caption, it says, this king snake on the left has adapted its coloring as a defense. Predators see bands like those of the coral snake on the right, and they leave the snake alone. So this snake on the right side is dangerous. This snake on the left isn't poisonous, but it looks like it. I mean, if I was, I don't know my snakes that well, but if I saw that one, I'd probably go, ooh, that looks poisonous, leave it alone. So that's what the captions give you a solid example, because it can describe it. I mean, these the text even says, coral king and milk snakes are excellent examples. Coral snakes have colorful scales and bands of black, red, and yellow. The yellow bands always touch the red ones. These colors announce the snake's deadly poison. Some king and milk snakes also have bands of red, black, and yellow, but they are arranged in a different order. It's not always easy to tell these snakes apart. A predator will often leave king or milk snakes alone because it sees their colors and believes that they are poisonous too. Okay, I mean, I can imagine that in my head and go, okay, these snakes have these colors. But this example with a caption, the caption explains it so well that I just can look at it and go, oh, okay, all right, yeah, that's a good example. So the author always includes headings and captions with their pictures to really help lay out or give us an example, show us what they're trying to define. So I really like this text for that. And you guys are going to do the same on page 295 of your MyView book. There's a question about one of the pictures, and it is about this viceroy butterfly. So you're going to probably have to read, you're going to answer a question about this caption. Really just think about what I just said here about the example. What does the heading tell the reader? What does the picture and the caption tell the reader? Why is it in there? Why did the author include it? All right?